I got another boom or bust for you. I like that nose. It's oh man, really tear this apart. Well, hang out. I got a bit of a surprise. Rye whiskey fans, I got one here that you need to check out. This one, devoted to a cause, and I love it. I'll go through it. We'll check it out. All right, folks, I got another boom or bust for you. Today we got ourselves a Rye Day Friday. Well, what do I mean by that? Vail, Colorado, home to ski resorts, also home to 10th Mountain Whiskey and Spirit Company. Now they have sent me this rye whiskey. Thank you guys, I really appreciate it. Now this, we're gonna check this out. So this is rye whiskey 100% that they made. So this comes in at 100 proof. I like the proof. I really think 100 proof is a good proof for a whiskey. But we're gonna check this out. One thing I like about them, before we get into the whiskey, I like the fact that they're devoted to honoring the 10th Mountain Division. Now, if you're not familiar, 10th Mountain Division started in World War II, and they came out specifically to fight in the mountains and Alps of Italy, just to fight Hitler and Mussolini. Now, they trained here in Colorado at Camp Hale, just outside of Vail. Since they were skiers and skiing was a huge part of their training, a lot of them came home from the war and started many of the ski resorts that you and I enjoy today. But this 10th Mountain, what I love is you don't see anything about the guys who founded it. You don't see anything about why they did it. Everything is devoted to the thought of 10th Mountain and those soldiers. I love that. So this rye whiskey, we're going to check this out. I like that nose. It's very herbal. Kind of floral, a little bit. A little bit, what's that? Oh, what is that? That sweetness, that herbalness. That I'm having a hard time pinning it down. There's something to it, very sweet. You can tell it's a rye. I really like the nose. I'm having a hard time pinning down the exact notes in there, but I like it. Let's see. Oh man. That's got some zip to it. That's spicy right off the bat. The caramel sweetness comes in at the front. You can taste the oak to it, but this is spicy. It's a spice bomb, and I like it. And it's still going. That one's good. Spiciness is what I noticed first. Let's check out let's go back for a second sip. We can really tear this apart. Some good legs to it. It's a delicious rye whiskey. This has got pepper to it. It's got caramel, a lot of tobacco. It's got a little herbalness to it, a little floral. Sweetness is very balanced, very good. I really like this. How old is this one? This one, so for at least 1 year, but they don't say specifically how long this one. Now, if you're looking at labels and say at least 1 year, at least 2 years, what have you, and it's a craft whiskey, dig a little deeper. Sometimes they just don't want to go through the trouble of changing the labels. Changing the label is a hard thing to do sometimes. But this is good. This tastes more than a year. It's got some good pepperiness to it. If you're a fan of a spice bomb, this one's good. I like it. There's good spiciness to it. Now, who is this one for? Well, hang out. I got a bit of a surprise. But this specific rye whiskey, if you like the spiciness of rye, if you like the herbalness to it, this is really good. This really goes down that. I'm not very experienced with ryes, but I know this. This is older than a year. If I had to guess, this is probably at least 2 years. It's good color to it, but here in Colorado, our climate does pretty good at getting that aged. This whiskey, it's for the explorer, one who's more experienced and knows rye whiskey and knows what they like. This is very good. It's not super complex, but it's very delicious. But I have a surprise. That's not the only rye whiskey they sent me. Again, I'm super grateful. Really, I really appreciate it, guys. They also sent me this special release. Limited release. The rye whiskey finished in PX sherry casks. Pedro Jimenez. So I have this one waiting. We're going to check it out. And we're going to compare it to its little brother here. Or big brother. Or sibling. I don't know. Oh man. You can smell that sherry right off. It does it good. I like with the sherry, what that does to it. A lot of sweetness to it. That stone fruit you can really smell. But it complements well with the rye. It doesn't overtake it. So let's see the taste. See what it is. Again, we've got a good color, good legs on this. This one in particular is, ooh, this is a higher proof one. It's 54%, 108 proof. Oh, wow. The sherry and the spiciness to it. That vegetal that plays off of it. Oh man. If you're a fan of sherried whiskeys, you might like this. So sherry finished. You will taste that. That is very good. I like that. The sweetness to it. The spiciness along with it. It pulls you in for more. I like this. This is really good. We're going to compare it. So, for those of you watching at home, this is the sherry with the B on it. And we got Colorado Spirits Collective over here holding out with the original. Let's clear out with some water. Let's make sure. Okay. You could taste more of the rye to it after coming back from this. The vegetal, it's almost subdued, but that is almost expected with this being 100 and this being 108. Help me, I'm in my happy place. Don't help me. I enjoy it here. That's good. The spiciness to it. With that sherry coming off of that, it almost has a clove to it. Cinnamon, that sherry. I like that. Once you get settled in, get used to that. I like that. That's good. I'm going to play with this a little bit more just because this is fun. So we're going to take a little bit of water and go little boop. That's a big boop. Big old boop. Let's see what we got. Whoa. That woke up the nose. Oh man, that's almost, first thing that comes to mind is Christmassy. that fruit that is almost like a plum. It's the spices. It reminds me of like, not fully of like mulled cider, like spice cider, but it reminds me of smelling that. Like, I did a lot of camping as a kid. You know, the packets of spice cider. You open it up and that smell, that first smell of all those spices, the clove, the cinnamon, and everything, that's what comes out of this. I almost don't want to take a drink, but I will. Mm. Mm. It's good, but that separates it a little bit more. Makes the sherry influence want to be on its own, and the rye doesn't get along with it anymore. So that was proofed right. 108, you weren't messing around. Oh, I hated that one, you could tell. Just kidding. No, that's good. But definitely, for me personally, that's the wrong one. For me personally, I think this one was proofed right. I like that. When you want a bit of a sherry crossover with a finished whiskey. This is actually one of my first forays into finished whiskeys. So I like this. This is really good. If you're a fan of sherry, you might try looking for that. I'm pretty sure that probably will only be available at the distillery, but as if you needed an excuse to go to Vail. So, that's good. Overall, who is this made for? I think the basic one is good for the explorer. I think that finished one, that could stand up to a cigar. And I'm not a cigar smoker, but I think that one could stand up to a cigar. The strong flavors in it. I think that both the Whiskey Explorer really would have fun with those, especially if you want an introduction into finished whiskeys. Grab this, especially if you're. I keep saying especially if you're definitely interested, or if you've had the rye whiskey and you like it, check out the sherry finished. Now, it may be a bit of a strong sherry influence. It is a strong influence, but I like it. So, I hope you folks get a chance to explore a new whiskey today. If you're not a rye fan, head over, check out this. I'm just going to let the algorithm choose. Check out this review. You might like it. Till then, I'll see you on the next one. Cheers.